Welcome to Cantina Vizsla. For the safety of the bartenders and any other patrons, remember to keep all arms, legs, tentacles, or any other extremities you may have to yourself at all times. So come right in, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coming to you from the Panic Room in the crap part of the cantina, I'm Sparrow, and with me, as always, is a man who some say is the real reason Elon Musk is building a spaceship to go to Mars. All I know is I call him Stan.
Well, I mean, there is a good reason to go to Mars, because whether we wanted it or not, we stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars.
So basically you're saying Elon Musk is your puppet to go up there and take care of everybody for you.
Right. I mean, they're attacking our internet, our infrastructure. It's just bad news all around. We got to do something about it.
Just wait till they find out you start yelling at trees and send them after them.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, they won't know what to do. Jeez. But besides all that work, getting people up to Mars for you, what have you been up to this week?
I have been preparing. It's a monumentous occasion. It is episode 66.
Yeah. Yes. Time to annihilate the Jedi scum.
It is wipe them from the face of the earth.
Actually, this is timing out pretty well, because all the theories have General Grievous actually wiping out Revan, and we're hitting Execute Order 66 here.
It is. It's lining up like we planned it.
That's right. We're about a week early from right. Grievous hitting, but yeah, it's close.
You know, we have our audacious 5-year plan for the podcast, and it's going it's just according to plan.
It's going swimmingly.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, it's been a crazy week. We've been asked to give our hot take on the Grammys because, you know, nerdy middle-aged white dudes, that's really where you go to for cutting edge music news.
That's right. Of course.
So did you watch any of it?
Like the first maybe 15, 20 minutes of it. That's about it. Not a whole lot.
That's better than I did. I looked up all the nominees, and I recognized some of the words and a few of the people on there, and that's about as far as I got.
Well, you sound about as good as my younger brother. He like did the same thing. He's like, I don't like this. I don't like Post Malone because I don't like the way he raps. And I started naming off songs. He goes, "That's Post Malone?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, maybe I actually do kind of like him then."
I thought Post Malone was a basketball player.
No, that's Karl Malone. I mean, good try. Good try. Okay. I mean...
you know. I mean, Donald Glover, Lando, had a pretty successful night. He won Record of the Year, and I don't understand why there's a rap song and a rap spoken song of the year. But either way, he won like a whole bunch of stuff, and he's missing. Nobody knows where he's at. So there's that, too.
That's right. He's probably paying off some debt that he lost playing Sabak.
Yeah, he's in trouble with some huts, and he's having to go into hiding.
That is right. Why not?
Has to be it. Oh, let's see. Oh, I got to make a correction from last week. I was rambling on, as I do, and we were talking about the Dozen Roses thing, and I called the website Planet Entertainment instead of Entertainment Earth. So... if you're looking for that, it's sold out by now anyway, so it doesn't do you any good, but I had the wrong website. So there you go.
So what you're saying is you laid a trap for everybody to go to the wrong website so you could just hoard everything, right?
Yes, I needed a dozen roses.
Who wouldn't?
I'm sitting on a throne of them as we speak. It's pretty amazing.
So that's your new office chair. It's a chair of roses.
Just a bunch of roses.
Right.
Man, so what have you been up to? Hopefully you've had a better week than I have.
Oh, not much. I mean, I've been going through following SpaceX and everything with them firing up their brand new engine, that Raptor engine. Have you seen any of that?
A little bit of it.
Yeah,
not
that stuff is absolutely amazing to me. That SpaceX has been going through since they've been founding. NASA's been trying to build a rocket based off of existing hardware that they have laying around, and they've worked almost double the time and has spent probably 10 to 20 times more money than SpaceX has spent total. And SpaceX has built 2 rockets from the ground up, working on a third, and this is their first engine they're building up from the ground up, and this is the first rocket as far as the specs appears to be the most powerful rocket built and eclipsing a Russian engine, and that Russian engine is 20 years old, that they're finally actually able to go through and get better performance out of it, which is mind-boggling to me that it would take that long, 20 years to go through and build a better engine.
Yeah, I just want to see space tourism in my lifetime. That's really accessible space tourism. I know like some people could pay a bunch of $1 million and go, but I want to be able to take a weekend trip and just go to space. Come on, future, don't let me down.
I'm not. I guess it has to start there. I really want to see more space exploration just because of how big everything is. There has to be more out there. We'd love to see exploring additional planets and finding out different solar systems and actually having spacecraft going through there. I mean, granted, we need better inner solar system travel as far as engines and ideas that way. But yeah, it seems really cool, and I'm just glad it's finally growing almost at a rapid rate, kind of like technology is, as far as computers and everything's speeding up. The more companies are in it now, the more it just seems to be a snowball effect on innovation that's coming out of that field right now.
Oh yeah, of course that helps everything else too. You know, space research impacts all of us, and it's criminal how little we invest in it. So I'm hoping, you know, with the private sector, we can really jumpstart that. But this ain't really a politics show, even though you have been watching a politics show.
Yeah, I kind of got halfway through House of Cards and before and just kind of turned it off, and it lost my attention. I finally went back into it, started getting back into it, trying to finish off this last season. Nothing really... It's entertaining. It's just nothing... It's different. Not having... You know, you just go through and you take off an actor, and then all of a sudden it makes the dynamics of the actual show different. And it's taking me a while to get into it. It's almost like a brand new show that you're trying to go through and get up to speed with. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of a shame with the Kevin Spacey stuff and all that, and just kind of how it took a great show with him, because early on House of Cards was amazing, but kind of like you, I think it overstayed its welcome. They should have wrapped that up in 1 or 2 seasons.
I actually liked the way the storyline was going, and this was always going to be their final season. It's just when you go through and take Kevin Spacey out of it all of a sudden, and you have to rewrite when you already filmed. I think they already filmed like half of it, maybe even a little bit further than that. So I understand why it's like that. It's just harder to get in, but I still want to go through and finish off the ending. And then went down to my grams and started cleaning out the basement for trying to go through and dig out some old stuff, and found a old pachinko machine.
Oh,
so
cool.
I am working on fixing that up and getting that back up and running in good order. So gonna start working on that. So that's kind of cool. Just something growing up, I always was at their house, and it was nonstop playing pachinko, nonstop there, as Nickelodeon was going on, watching Rugrats and Doug.
There you go.
But yeah. So let's get into the game, though.
Yeah. It's been a busy week.
Yeah, how'd you do, though, this week?
Well, I finished up my Hot Topic Bastila, so I am as prepared for Darth Revan as I can get right now until they drop somebody else. Looks like you hit a few notches yourself.
Yeah, I am getting there as far as my characters go. I went through and... Hold on. I had to go through and adjust something, but... yeah, it took Zalbar up to Gear 12. So oh, sorry, I forgot all about your 7 stars. What am I doing? It's sitting right here in front of me, glowing. But yeah, it took Zalbar to Gear 12. So my scoundrels are pretty much up and running. Just have Kira sitting there at
Gear 11 ready to go to Gear 12. Mine is 3 stun guns. So, yeah. She's taking a little bit. I think I'm going to go through and gear up Revan a little bit higher and then go back to Kira. But other than that, I just went through just today. Got Canderous up to 7 stars. So, getting ready. Lando's Millennium Falcon hit 7 stars. And then other than that, I've been just working on mods. Going through, getting that slicing material up, slicing up my mods, kind of spreading them out, actually. Going through, so I actually sped up my Bosk. I sped up... who else? I didn't put them all on my arena team. I don't know why. I just kind of spread them out between different characters. So I went through and added health and speed to Bosk. Went through and added some offense to Grandmaster Yoda. Just some of those critical characters that you have laying around that could really use that bump in health from the primary, bump in offense from that primary stat of your mods. And I had some speed sitting on them also. Seems to be working out well so far.
Oh, cool. Are you having a lot of problems with the mirror matches in Arena now?
Haven't touched my Revan in Arena yet. I don't have Jolie geared up yet. I just took Revan up to Gear 9. So,
okay, yeah. At this point, you might as well sit this one out and see what the next meta is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it. It's just going through it. I wanted to get those scoundrels finished off. I needed that additional defensive team for Territory Wars and Grand Arena, and I can go through and place them there. Revan's still serviceable as a offensive team, even at that lower gear level, because I have the 3 Zetas on them. So I can make it work that way. It's kind of where my thoughts were. And then I'm farming up all the stars and everything for anything that comes up, hopefully in March, if we're thinking correctly. So having Canderous done is a good start to that for me. And I've actually been getting really good drop rates on Darkside Bastila.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so let's get cracking, because we went through, had some news in the game. But before we do that, let's get into the Star Wars news.
Yeah, nothing too major going on right now. Jimmy V or R2D2 wrapped up filming on episode 9, so more and more they're just finishing shooting, and we're gonna have a dang movie by the end of the year. I can't wait.
Well, before that, maybe we'll have a trailer.
Yeah, or a name even.
Names are overrated. It's just episode 9.
Maybe a Celebration, which they've been releasing a lot more names and all that we've been going through and kind of mentioning those as they come up. Today they announced Ian McDiarmid, or Emperor Palpatine, the man behind Order 66. He will be there. So I'm really wanting to get an autograph with him, and I'm trying to think of something funny I could get signed, maybe like a power bank or something, or a phone charger, so I could have unlimited power.
Just get one of the charging dongles that you actually plug into the wall for an iPhone or something like that. Or
Ian McDiarmid, sign my dongle. You'll probably get kicked out of the show.
Well, you made me sign what?
Right. Let's get out of that rabbit hole. Let's see. EA had their earnings call this week, and no big surprise. They kind of disappointed for the quarter. It's been a rough go for them since the Battlefield. Battlefront 2. I mean, Battlefield was kind of a fiasco too. Battlefield 2 didn't really perform like they wanted it to. The Command & Conquer mobile game hasn't really taken off. They didn't really even mention Star Wars Galaxy Hero at all during the show. They're mostly just kind of making excuses. But it is not all doom and gloom. The rest of the year is looking pretty good. They released Apex Legends a couple days ago, just out of the blue. Battle Royale has been the hot thing for a minute. Fortnite's the biggest game in the world, so everybody is trying to put their Battle Royale mode into games. And Respawn, the company behind the Titanfall series and the upcoming Jedi Fallen Order game, released their Battle Royale game called Apex Legends, and it's really taken off. It's been like 10 million players over the past couple of days. Have you had a chance to look at this one yet?
I looked at some of the trailers for it, and I know both my brothers went through and downloaded it and were playing it for a little bit. They said they just went back over to Call of Duty, but that's also what they're used to. I really want to download this and actually check it out, though. It seems intriguing, that's for sure.
It's pretty cool. It's a little different spin on the Battle Royale, which is not my favorite type of game. I'm not a huge fan of them, but this one seems to be a little more casual friendly. You're in a 3-man squad. There's unlimited revives as long as you guys have the right resources and get to the right spots. So that helps. The artwork's cool. The gunplay feels really good. So I'm hoping it does well for them. I mean, the more resources they could put into Fallen Order, I mean, the better off we're going to be. So go check that out. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they also didn't mention Galaxy of Heroes. When you go through, it's been steady. It hasn't exceeded or disappointed as far as their expectations. It's going through, holding steady. It's making a steady stream of money. And they aren't going to call out something that's doing as expected. They're going to go through and highlight their successes and the failings and then try to make excuses on what's going on and why that was happening. And their basically big reasoning was everybody's going to Battle Royale and we didn't have Battle Royale, and then our single player games were up against games like Red Dead Redemption, who just blew sales out of the water compared to us. So they were just kind of making excuses, and then they went through and named off 4 or 5 different Battle Royale games. So it just seems like they went through and was like, well, that's what we need, so we're going to throw 4 or 5 things at it. We're going to throw everything at it. Hopefully one of them sticks, and then we'll focus on that one.
Yeah. I mean, when you see games out there like Fortnite, and you have Ellen and grandmas talking about Fortnite and every kid in the world doing Fortnite dances, everybody's going to rush in and try to get a piece of that pie. It was kind of cool or interesting how they did the Apex Legends. Like, they didn't announce this game. There was no marketing for it. It was just like, hey, here's a game. Check it out. And they said the reason they did that was because this is a loot box shooter game, which, given EA's record with that, is pretty risky to do. And also, it's a game that's not Titanfall 3 coming out of Respawn. So if they would have announced this 6 months ago, it would have been a disaster. They would have, everybody would have been like, this is not Titanfall. It's another game with loot boxes. We hate it before we've even played it. Whereas now, it's just out there. People had a chance to play it on its own terms, and it's a good game.
That and all the reviews have been going through saying, yes, there are loot boxes in there, but the loot boxes are not for a competitive advantage like it was for Battlefront.
Yeah, it's all cosmetic.
Which is a huge thing. I don't mind loot boxes if it's all skins and just to go through and differentiate each character within the game and doesn't affect gameplay. And the gameplay advantages come from actually spending time in the game and actually progressing that way.
Getting good.
That's right. Get good and you will start reap the rewards.
All right. Well, let's drop all this boring financial stuff and start talking about getting good in the game.
That is right. Let's do that. So EA mixed it up on us. We actually got a really fully fleshed out calendar this week that has marquees on it. It has reworks on it. I don't see anything else being added into the month of February. They literally told us everything, which is amazing and really nice. So you can actually plan out what you're going for. You can start saving rewards, saving gear, saving crystals for your eye on the prize.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty cool. May not know exactly what the prize is yet, but it's at least you know when the prize is coming.
Well, it depends on what you do consider your prize. If your prize is the General Grievous IG-100 and the droid rework, you're looking at a specific time. You know exactly when they're going to come out. You can save crystals, you can save gear, and get ready for that specific date rather than just knowing, hey, at some point this month, General Grievous is going to get a rework.
Right. Well, yeah, we know that, but we don't know exactly what the rework's going to be. If it's going to be just meta-defining or pretty good or total crap. We're not quite sure yet. I mean, I'm leaning toward it's going to be pretty good to meta-defining, but we don't know 100% yet. That's just what I was meaning.
Yeah, I mean, it's leaning, and he was a Jedi killer. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, even the B2 rework seems to be putting a damper on Revan teams. I've seen some pretty good combos with Traya and B2 that can shut down a Revan team with all the buff immunity and the dispels. It really shuts them down.
I really enjoy that. I remember using B2 with the triple cleanse days. You go through.
Oh, yeah.
Even with Rex teams, you go through, throw B2 Super Battle Droid in there, tenacity goes up, tenacity disappears, and then everybody gets stunned, and away you go. I think that was in the original Palpatine meta about 2 years ago when Palpatine first came out as a legendary event.
Yeah.
You go through and put Palpatine in there, B2. Everybody, they throw Rex in there to get tenacity up, they speed up, they start attacking you. B2 goes, clears all the tenacity, and then Palpatine stuns everybody. Game over.
Yeah, he's a cool character. I'm glad he got some love. A busy week this week. We've got a territory war going on. We've got a grand arena going on, both vanilla variety.
Yep.
We've got Emperor's Demise going on with Mythics. We've got Military Might. We've got Galactic Bounties coming up tomorrow. We're recording on the 11th. So on the 12th, we got both Galactic Bounties 1 and 2. Got a credit heist coming up on the 13th. And then on the 14th, just in time for Valentine's Day, B1 Battle Droid drops.
Yeah.
That will be fun.
So,
and we'll talk. Well, you want to talk about his kit now or talk about it a little bit later?
Let's talk about it a little bit later. Let's go. What else do you have out there on the calendar? Because might as well go through it. Because they did announce it.
Yeah, that kills it for the week, but then up on the 20th, we've got General Grievous rework and the IG-100 Magna Guard rework. And then on the 21st, Droid Deca is coming to the game as a marquee.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it was I really enjoyed and thought it was great that CG went through and gave us the whole month of character releases. That seems really good. If you actually look in the game, B1 marquee event and kit and everything's already in the game, which leads me to believe that we aren't going to get an update this week. They're going to leave it alone, which, as we've been waiting for, Juhani and Karth probably have another week. I don't see them putting them free to play this week.
Yeah, I kind of agree there too. We originally had them going free to play on the 22nd and 23rd, and it's been a week or two before that. So, yeah, not seeing it this week. I think the next week, more than likely, and that would lead into a KOTOR event the first part of March.
Yeah, beginning to middle of March, yep. And I think that's the next update would be the General Grievous IG-100 rework would come into the game, Droidica would come into the game, and that would be a time to place those characters in it, which, man, they have held out a long time, a lot longer on those characters than we initially thought. I mean, we're going off their original time frame, and we're like, oh, yeah, they're this, but they've been, 2-3 weeks ahead of time for the last, how many characters? So this really threw us for a loop that it seems like they're going back to their planned cadence, or original cadence.
Yeah, well, it seems like they rearranged some things with February not being a Sith month, and this was in the works for a while. So with the leaks and everything, they kind of bumped some things around. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's all going to work out. And we did have a game update though on the 6th, and that brought in the battle droid. It made some changes to some packs. We'll talk about a little bit later. Probably the biggest thing that everybody's enjoying right now is the Galactic Chase for the Emperor's Shuttle.
Yeah. How you making out on that?
Actually, pretty good. I've got it at 5 stars and looking around 30 out of 85 for my 6 stars. Probably won't get to 6 stars this time around, but I've got it unlocked. I can use the specials. I'm pretty happy with it. Drop rates have been great.
Yeah, they haven't seemed too bad. I'm not going after it at all. I'm just doing my normal farming, not worried about it, just kind of cruising. So, yeah, to me, it is what it is. I'm not... I don't even think I'll get it unlocked, honestly.
Okay, well, there's this nagging in the back of my mind that Sith ships are going to be needed for something, so I want to make sure I have it at least usable and ready to go in case they roll something out. I can almost see an Ebonhawk event that needs Sith ships.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but I'm so far behind with the bomber and the fighter that it's not going to matter right now for me.
Gotcha.
So I went through, stayed focused on Candrass, and did not get distracted at all by the Emperor shuttle, and just kind of been cruising from there. Because the other thing, I mean, you went through and mentioned it that we have galactic bounties coming up. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to be able to finally kill my 49th and 50 Wampa to complete that bounty hunter quest. So I'm pretty excited about that, to finally be able to clear out that challenge and move on to the next tier of that. Because it has been a long time coming, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, I think we'll talk about the kits here in a little bit. Let's just keep on rocking the news.
Yeah.
I guess probably the other biggest thing that came out of this is the new marquee pack pricing. This has not gone over very well with the community. My kind of initial take on it is, they've looked at redoing the character release cadences, or giving us more quote unquote free characters that you can earn just by doing what you're doing. Well, nothing is free. So if you're getting something somewhere, you got to give it somewhere else. And we've had these $10 packs that would bring a character up to 4 stars, and they have now added $10 worth of crystals to it, but also added double the price. So it's now a $20 4-star pack, which, man, that throws it out of an impulse buy to probably not going to buy it for me.
Yeah, especially when you can go through and just purchase $10 worth of crystals and buy the shards as soon as it goes into the store for actually cheaper. My only guess is, the elasticity of demand at that level. People that are spending $10 are more likely going to, or we'll spend $20. They don't care. They'll spend $100 because it's not about the money. It's about getting that character first. And so I figure they can make more money off of those people than the people that will spend the $10 every time. So I don't know. It's not a good deal as it sits, because like you said, you can buy crystals and get the shards cheaper than with this pack. Maybe if they added some ship omegas maybe, or some stun guns or some good gear, I'd be a little more tempted. But as it sits now, it's probably going to be a pass for me. Yeah, it's not something great right now as far as at least the street dollar amount pack. Now, they also went through and adjusted the marquee pack.
Yeah, and this was what we call the gambler's pack. 5 to 300 shards.
5 to 330. Yep.
Yeah.
And I went through and I started looking at the drop rates and things like that, figuring out where they were going with this. So the old packs were $12.99 for a chance of 5 to 330 shards. Now, the biggest drop rate percentage was 7 shards per character, and that's right around, I think it was right around 68 to 70% drop rate. The new pack is listed as $25.99 with chances of 15 to 330 shards. Now, my initial thought when I saw the 2,599 crystals, I was like, ouch. It reminded me very much of the Citadel pack that was at $299. It had Krennic and Death Trooper together, and people were spending, I think it was like right around $800 to be able to get both characters at 7 stars, which is very, very painful. to swallow, and that's kind of my first initial reaction was that. It was like, man, that's a sticker shock right there. But looking at this, they about double the price, but they went through and upped this, so even if the 15 shards is at that bigger drop rate percentage, people will be spending the same amount of money. They'll just be opening half the packs.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's see what they say about it first. It says, let's see. Starting with the launch of the Droid Echo, we are launching it in the classic marquee. We are changing the traditional bundle to include crystals and adding a new mega pack that will allow players to increase Droid Echo's star rarity with fewer crystals compared to the standard marquee, akin to other mega packs. So they talked about the changes. Bundle price goes from $20. Talked about that. And they say standard marquee pack, no change. Then the new marquee mega pack, crystal cost $25.99 with charge range from $15 to $3.30. So your lowest drop, you'll get triple what you were before.
Well,
so
the 5 shards was a very low percentage. The majority of the time where you were getting 7.
All right.
7
okay,
shards.
so maybe that doubles it.
Yeah. It doubles it. The cost gets doubled. So, I mean,
Yeah.
It sounds like you're just opening half the packs, and you should be averaging out about the same price.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see the drop rates, and it does sound like if you want to do the old style marquee pack, they'll still be available since they're not changing it. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Is that how you take it?
When I read it, it sounded like they were saying they weren't getting rid of the old marquee style packs per se, but they were going to go through and keep like alternating them or trying out different bundles every once in a while.
Yeah, well, it sounds like to me on this one, you'll be able to buy the old marquee pack and the new mega pack. So you'll have both options available.
Yeah, I'm just hoping this mega pack for the $25.99 crystals isn't have multiple characters into it, because then it could get a little iffy as far as buying it.
No, I don't think it will. I think since it's a marquee pack, it's going to be for that marquee character.
Hopefully. We'll see. I mean, they said they want to mix it up, so hello, Citadel pack with multiple characters in it.
Yeah, we asked our Discord if they were interested in buying this pack, and I don't think I had any come back and say they were. So they've got some more messaging to do on this one, for sure.
They have some splaining to do.
They've got some splaining to do. They made some other changes to bundles. They had the 4 times fleet data pack. So you'll have 4 cards, 4 ship blueprint set. They took out the pilot shards, so that's kind of good. And that's pretty much it. They made some fixes and all that. No super huge game-changing stuff there. They added new characters to the weekly shipments for level 15 to 69, which is pretty good because it's 69. But also, characters that, and we talked about this, catching up is a hard thing to do in this game. So they're letting some of the other characters like Stormtrooper Han, Darth Maul, Finn, the smugglers, the Ahsoka, Darth Nihilus will be in weekly shipments that kind of help them build their roster up. So that's pretty cool.
So you mentioning that just kind of brought something to mind for me. And I completely agree with you as far as catching up in this game is very hard to do. And it kind of brought into mind all the shipments within the stores. You have Cantina shipments, you have arena shipments. Jeez, I don't remember the last time I actually bought a character out of the arena shipments. Galactic War shipments. Those characters, they're pretty bad now that I'm going through in my head, like running through the characters that are in there. They are very bad and not very usable within metas right now. Do you see them ever going through and in there and actually mixing up like some of those characters like Darth Nihilus or maybe some of the different bounty hunters and mixing it up?
I think they need to, but I don't know if they will, because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you go and change the stores now, the people that farm those characters on hard nodes will be pissed off. or bought the characters. I think a good solution would be the shard shop, because they've said these old stores are for shard currency. If you finish them out, rotate characters through the shard store like they used to.
Yeah, I just think at some point they're going to have to mix in some characters and kind of rotate them in and out, because right now, I mean, you want to go after Phoenix within those stores, but that's really, I think there's a couple stormtrooper or troopers, and maybe trying to think who else is in there that is like critical farms. I mean, maybe HK-47 here shortly, but other than that, I mean, there's not really standout characters that everybody uses right now. Maybe a couple first order, but even them, they're falling further and further out of favor, even in territory war defenses and Grand Arena defenses.
Yeah, doing that, adding more characters to the reward tables for some of the Galactic Assaults, that would be a good idea too. They need a refresh anyway.
Yeah,
there's some things they could do.
Yeah, it just seems like there's little things that they could do as far as rotating maybe one character out of each store and actually replacing it with either a Sith or something, or a kind of updated Jedi, maybe, to kind of make those stores and give newer players an actually a little bit broader version, or a little bit easier way to get caught up and actually start building teams by having these characters in the store. Because, man, I always remember fighting and trying to decide who to farm within the stores, because there were always 3 to 4 characters that were really good at the time that I needed out of a store, and you had to go through and focus on one. And right now it's like, well, you got to go after Phoenix, so just farm them and then kind of go after whatever in the store, because they're all okay, but they aren't critical characters anywhere in there.
Right. Or you know what? Even bring back marquee events for kind of old, quote unquote, retired characters. You know, you're not hurting anybody having I can't even think of a character that had a marquee that's, hell, even Phoenix. Bring back their marquee events.
Well, I mean, you could go through and do a marquee event for, say, Truton Bays.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of, I mean, Truton Bays aren't meta-defining right now, but they are solid characters that you need for territory battles. Imagine starting off as a new player and having to go through and farm those guys for territory battles, the end of light side territory battles right now. It's tough to justify.
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act. If somebody's starting the game now, if they feel too far behind, they're not going to invest in the game. They'll play for a little bit and just give up if they feel this is a unachievable goal. But if you give them enough stuff to go on, keep them hungry, but surviving, they're more likely to stick with the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they were going through at a certain, a certain level within their progression of the game. Say they hit level 15 and a marquee pops up for a specific character. Hey, they hit 20, another marquee pops up, just to get them at 3 stars and starting to get them moving with characters that are actually decent, and get them carrying them along a little bit, just spreading them out, getting their roster built up a little bit with characters so they can start messing around and getting some of these crucial characters that may not be meta right now, but they're required in certain game modes.
Yeah, that's true. They have done some good stuff with the quest to get some shards out there, so it's not. I think it is on their radar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they aren't doing a great job of it, because they seem to have been focusing on trying to create a progression for newer players to get up to the end game. I just see, as they're doing that, and as these new characters come out, I'm just starting to, and I don't know what made it dawn on me that the characters with it in the stores really aren't that useful anymore, and that probably would be something they should focus on and maybe look at a little bit as far as mixing those up for those players.
Right. All right. Well, that's the major stuff out of the content update. We got some new characters. You want to look at their kits a little bit?
Yeah. If you want to go over the kits, I mean.
Okay. Well, let's talk about B.
Yeah, we kind of went over B2. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a rework. Let's kind of go through it real quick. He maintains all of his tags. He's a dark side tank droid separatist. His basic was they added a lot of target lock stuff. So on his basic, they've added if target was target locked, inflict critical damage down for 2 turns. Otherwise, inflict target lock for 2 turns. In a special one, they added a 80% chance to inflict buff immunity. His unique Relentless Barrage, they added target locked enemies have negative 25% critical chance and negative 25% evasion. So it has 40% to gain 100% turn meter whenever another ally is evaded or damaged. So he's constantly getting turn meter and shooting the bad guys.
Yeah, he is constantly getting turn meter and actually going nonstop.
Right,
which
yeah,
that was kind of already in his kit. They really just added the target lock. I think it was critical damage down is the other buff they added. They basically just updated his kit to kind of go through with the current buffs and current meta and kind of balance that out, which was really good. Like you said earlier, he seems to be fitting in very well into a Revan team, a Traya team, and going through and actually working as that plug-and-play character like he was originally designed for and like he was originally known for when he was part of the meta as a plug-and-play character.
Yeah, they did add a Zeta as well. So Zeta is B2 has a 40% chance to reduce its cooldowns by 1 whenever a Separatist ally is evaded or damaged by an attack. Whenever B2 inflicts a debuff, all other Separatist droid allies gain 5% turn meter. So he has a chance to have all this stuff on cooldown all the time. So that's pretty cool. And kind of going back to target lock, it's a popular ship mechanic, but you don't see a whole lot of it in the character side of it, and there's some interesting things out there with target lock.
Well, they're starting to focus on that a lot with the droids, because right now, Imperial Pro droid has target lock, IG-88 has target lock, B2 now has target lock. They seem to be really ramping up this target lock and focusing it down on droids. If you have does T3 have target lock?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring his kit up now.
Okay, that was the other character that just off the top of my head that was newer that also has target lock. So it is a very cool mechanic. It makes sense, and thematically it fits for the droids. And I really do like the mechanics of target lock within the droid faction itself, because it leads to a lot of different flexibility on what you're doing and a lot of interesting team composition, because it doesn't have to be a complete droid team to work. Just having that target lock to lock down a team is a plug-and-play character for other factions, for other teams that you built. And that allows what a protocol droid or just droid in general, it's usually a plug-and-play character or spot to help out the other people on the team. So
yeah. Now, T3, man, he is such a beast. He is an underrated character. He's got a couple of abilities that take advantage of target lock. His basic, disable, deal special damage to a target enemy with 75% to inflict ability block for 1 turn. If the enemy is target locked, the ability block can't be resisted. So, that's an ability block on basic for him. And then a special, Carbonite Projector, deals special damage and dispels defensive buffs to any enemies, then remove 20% turn meter and inflict critical chance down and offense down for 2 turns. Target locked enemies can't resist these critical chance down and offense down debuffs. So, all these teams that rely on all these buffs and all that, it shuts them down.
Yeah, don't... Just stop. You're going to go through and make me go through, and I'm going to have, every Old Republic character at Gear 12 for one reason or another.
Right.
I'm already at 3, and I'm planning on Revan and Jolie, so there's 5, and now you're trying to talk me into T3. There's 6.
There you go. Yep. Gotta
Kart,
get them all.
Yeah, Kart, Juhani, Canderous, Darkside Bastila probably should be geared up also. Oh, yeah. That would be the only faction that I have that's all geared up to Gear 12, and only pairs of them go together. None of them are actually on a team all together. It's like, well, 2 of you go here, 2 of you go there, 2 of you go on this team. They're a very cool faction.
Stuff come out, yeah.
They're a very cool faction. They just don't really go together. It's like Mission and Zalbar go with the Scoundrels. Revan and Bastila and Jolie go on your Jedi team. Canderous goes with a Vader team with your Dots and Wampa. T3 goes with your droids. It's really a hodgepodge of everything.
Yeah, those are the coolest teams to me, too. So, yeah, that was B2. Pretty cool. Kind of rolling out the target lock even more. B1 has a really cool kit.
Let me tell you, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but well, look, I was shooting down this kit pretty accurately here. I was going through and I said, it's not going to be exactly like Womp or Zombie because it's not going to rely on the other characters around him, but he's probably going to have to be killed, 4 or 5 times before he actually is completely dead. That's pretty much what we got. Granted, they added the mechanic and kind of fleshed everything out, but initial reaction, I'm pretty happy with what I came up with off the top of my head and what actually showed up in the kit.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's kind of go through his kit here. Unit name B1 Battle Droid. He's a dark side droid, separatist attacker. Description: fragile separatist attacker that overwhelms their enemies with numbers, killing them with math. His basic B1 Barrage, deal physical damage to target enemy. There it is again. If target was target locked, all droid allies recover 5% of their leader's max health and protection. Special 1, blast them. Final text, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict target lock for 2 turns on selected target. Gain 1 stack of droid battalion for each other separatist ally. He'll target other separatist ally for 0.5% health and 0.5 protection for each stack of droid battalion. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but just wait. And unique 1, Roger. When another separatist ally uses an ability during their turn, B1 assist, dealing 40% less damage, limit once per turn. When another droid ally uses a special ability, B1 gains 15% turn meter. And unique to droid battalion, final text with a Zeta, B1 can't score critical hits or be revived. B1 has no protection. This sounds like a terrible Zeta. 1 health and 100 stacks of droid battalion and can't be defeated or destroyed while they have droid battalion. Okay, that sounds better. When all stacks of droid battalion expire, B1 immediately destroys itself. B1 is immune to damage over time. So when B1 takes damage, they dispel all debuffs on themselves and lose 8 stacks of droid battalion. At the start of B1's turn, they gain 3 stacks of droid battalion. So droid battalion, each stack grants B1 plus 2% offense for all separatist allies, 0.5% tenacity and critical avoidance. So this is, like you said, it's kind of like a mix between Zombie and the endless ranks of the Imperial Trooper buff they had.
Yes, very much so. Now, what's interesting about this character also is the way you would mod him, because you don't need health. So you're pretty much going complete damage, really. You're trying to find offense mods, critical chance mods, critical damage mods, and just laying into this team.
I would think maybe potency to make sure that target lock sticks.
Yep, potency would work too. Maybe a potency cross with other secondaries, but yeah. Or maybe even a potency set to go along with something. Trying to think what else. There's really no advantage of going through and actually gearing him up or really starring him up.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, because he has 1 health, 1 protection. He's going to just die every time he gets hit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're not modding for that at all. Speed, I guess we can go more and recover some of the droid battalions. So I could definitely see speed being useful. But yeah, starring and gearing, other than to use them in a raid or territory war or territory battles.
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't see the incentive to star them up.
Yeah, obviously there's going to be an advantage to starring them up as far as damage goes, but no crucial reason if you're using them for arena, it's not like you have to go out and buy the marquee packs or something like that. There's no necessity to rush out and do it right away. Let's put it that way.
Right.
The other thing with B1 that, and actually just the droids in general that kind of disappoint me. Like you said, B1's immune to damage over time effects. Okay, that's cool. The one thing they do not mention that B1 is not immune to is plague.
And exactly, yeah. I've seen a lot of chat. It makes sense. They're machines. They shouldn't get the plague.
Yeah. I mean, I think the droids as a faction should just get an update and say immune to plague as a droid faction.
So here's my counter to that. Mm-hmm. Make them immune to plague, but make them vulnerable to slicing. Give us, mission with slicing skills, maybe put DJ in the game and have those give them some form of plague as a computer virus or something like that. So you'd have a kind of anti-droid faction going on there. That'd be pretty cool.
I can see that, and kind of looking at Missions Kit, it's kind of already built in there to counter, which is fine. I just think something with... actually, all you really need is actually go through and modify Mother Talzin's kit and saying droids are immune to plague. So if they have the droid faction tag on there, they're immune to plague. And bada bing, bada boom. You have a check, and if the opposition has a droid in there and it says immune, and it shows that faction, plague can't be applied, and you go from there. But, I mean, that's kind of a minor thing. It just kind of, that damage over time immunity with B1 just kind of jogged my memory of that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they got to balance the game and all that nonsense.
Balance the game so the Night Sisters have trouble with one faction called droids. Oh, right. Oh, my. People would lose their minds because it would make sense, too.
Yeah, they so this is pretty interesting, and they did go back and kind of clarify some of the interactions that B1 had. Of course, it is immune to the damage over time. They mentioned B1's interaction when B1 takes damage from Trey's leader ability. B1 will cleanse any debuffs on itself before Trey Lee can heal her Sith allies. Devour Annihilate. When B1 is devoured or annihilated, its unique will trigger, causing it to lose 8 stacks. It will dispel debuffs, but Annihilate will not take it out. It will come back from that, so that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. B1 and abilities that deal damage multiple times. These multi-tap ones. B1 will lose 8 stacks for each instance of damage dealt. So, example, being hit with Scavenger Ray's Flurry of Blows will remove 32 stacks. While being attacked, B1 has exposed and will cause it to lose 16 stacks. So some of these characters that hit a whole bunch will just wreck a B1. Like Ahsoka, Leia, Officer Leia.
Fulcrum, yeah. Fulcrum would be a good one. Greedo?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he keeps procking. Well, I don't know. Would he proc if the character is considered dead?
No, he is not considered dead because they also said characters like Imperial Troopers, when they go through and take out stacks, they aren't going to get full turn meter for killing an enemy.
Okay.
Because he actually doesn't die. He just loses stacks.
Gotcha.
The animation looks like he's dying, but that's an animation, not an actual ability.
Not a status change.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, they did clarify
cool.
that. Yeah, I did. I forget where I did see that, but they did clarify about the Imperial Troopers, because that was one of the comments were like, yeah, Imperial Troopers will just be like a never-ending loop. They're going to dominate. And they're like, no, it doesn't count as a death.
A Revan's mass assist move, the clones mass assist. I'm already seeing ways to take this little dude out.
The clones. That's right. The clones takes out B1.
And that's thematically perfect. I love that.
Oh, the clones need more help than that. I don't think this is going to help the clones too much against this team.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. That's B1. And any more insight on B1 before we talk about the last unit?
No, not really. I mean, he looks very good. B2 looks very good. And I think it is setting up to be a very good faction itself. I'm curious to see what General Grievous, IG-100, and Droidica bring to the actual team. But it's a very good start. I'm curious on how this is going to round out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the marquee. I want to see what they do with it. And if they put the Roger Roger soundbite in the game, I'll be happy.
It's already in the game. We just can't access it to try it out.
What, the soundbite? Does he actually say it?
I have no idea. If it's part of his kit, it's already in the game because he's already in the game.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want to hear it.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be nice.
Make it happen. Patch the game. Do whatever you got to do. Server updates. I don't care. Make it happen.
Patch it.
All right. And the final unit was obviously everybody's most excited about. We talked about a little bit earlier. Emperor's Shuttle. The Emperor's new groove. Uber. I don't know. Emperor Shuttle, Dark Side, Empire Sith support, crew, Emperor Palpatine, and Royal Guard. It's a versatile support that boosts Empire and Sith survivability while debuffing enemies. So, it's just a tri-wing Lambda Shuttle, basic one, aggressive offensive, inflict special damage to target enemy, target lock, inflict critical damage down on target enemy for 2 turns. Okay, lame. Ability 1, Emperor's Influence. It has a 3-turn cooldown. This is kind of cool. This will dispel all debuffs from a target Empire Sith ally, then they recover 50% of their max health and protection. Dispel all buffs from target enemy and inflict buff immunity on all target locked enemies for 2 turns. This ability starts on the cooldown and can't be evaded. So now we're talking. Now this is really starting to support. Special Crew, Ability 2, Royal Escort. It's on 3-turn cooldown. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict target lock on them for 2 turns. And healthiest other Empire Sith ally taunts for 2 turns. So that's kind of cool. Unique battle-tested formation. Dispel all debuffs on the Emperor Shuttle anytime it takes damage from a target-locked enemy. Empire and Sith allies gain protection up for 2 turns when they're critically hit. Double to 40% for Empire Sith allies that are taunting. So you get hit with a crit, you've got 40% of your health back. Almost like a Xeris situation going on there. Yeah. And for its reinforcement, enter battle, Emperor Shuttle gains protection up 25% and critical hit immunity for 2 turns. Empire and Sith allies gain offense up for 2 turns. Inflict tenacity down on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. Emperor Shuttle can use Emperor's Influence immediately for the second reinforcement. So kind of cool. I mean, it's on its own, not just game breaking and super exciting, but throw in Vader in there with his dots, some other Sith ships, TIE Fighter. You can get some teams going on there. It's going to be pretty good against Houndstooth, I think, with the buff immunity.
Yeah, there's some possibilities with this ship. I mean, it's nothing. It would be a very good ship to have if you were just unlocking ships for the way you unlock it, that you just got to go through and actually use ship energy to be able to unlock it and get shards for it. It would be a very good ship if you were just unlocking the fleet arena and everything. But right now in the end game with the Millennium Falcon and Houndstooth and just the teams that are fleshed out right now, it's not meta defining right now. I can see where it's adding pieces, and I honestly, to me, all it does is sound like they're trying to go through, ramp up how many ships are in the game, create multiple teams that are actually decent for either a ship raid upcoming, expansion of territory wars to have multiple ship zones in their Grand Arena, having to set more than one offensive, one defensive ship. It just seems like they're ramping up as far as pilots and ships goes, and this was another way towards that.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to put a ship on kind of the galactic chase thing, this is a perfect candidate for it. Nothing too game-breaking that they couldn't sell down the road, but a good ship to put in your toolbox for later.
Yeah, And I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's a good ship. It's just everything else that's coming out within the game and the way I was spending my resources and crystals, focusing on Canderous and other characters, and even gear. I felt like that was more important than having this ship unlocked. So I'm at 30 of 80 for an unlock. So, I mean, I'm doing okay. It's nothing spectacular. Maybe I'll get it unlocked. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to be leaning one way or the other right now. that may change. I might buy that 600 crystal pack and just blast through some energy to try to get the ship unlocked at the last day or something like that. But that's the most I would do. Just the basic unlock. Nothing more than that.
Yeah, I'm not breaking the bank either, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We asked our Discord what they thought of all the new units and the reworks and pretty much everything going on in the game, and for the most part, it was positive. Friend of the show, Ethan, he's excited for B2, looking forward to the rest. Emperor Shuttle is underwhelming, but loves the style of the event. Farming and getting rewarded extra. Not sold on the new money for the pack. Yeah, we agree there. Let's see.
Yeah.
Want to know about Walking Dead, Obsidian? I haven't watched it yet. Have you seen the new episode?
No, I haven't watched. I haven't caught up in The Walking Dead in a couple of years now. I probably should at some point, but yeah, the format just got dated to me. It seemed repetitive, so I always went through and kind of had to force myself to watch like the first half of the show to try to even get somewhat invested in that new season, and just have not got up to it the last few years.
I'm intrigued. I want to see where they go. I don't feel a driving urge to watch it as soon as I can, but this week I will watch it, and next week I'll give you my impressions. We talked about the Grammys. Zara talked about the marquee packs, probably not buying it. Again, he brought up a good point on you can spend $20 on the normal $20 crystal pack and buy 32 shards and shipments cheaper. So why would you get this unless you're just wailing out from the start? The new whale pack seemed to be a better deal, so why would whales spend on the marquee pack? Not sure who the target market is for those packs. Yeah, good point. We mentioned that. They're going to, I think, sweeten the pot a little bit to get people on board. Mm-hmm. That looks to be. No, almost forgot a friend, Hamish. Talked about the Revan teams, changing Grand Arena strategy. He's got an interesting team going on there with the Plo Koon in there.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a Kenobi, Zaris, Revan, Plo Koon, and Anakin. So let us know how that turns out for you. I'm interested.
Oh, yeah. The original top-tier players that go through and have these odd characters up at high star level and higher gear levels, because at the time they had a use for them in whether it was arenas or raids in which they used these characters or just needed something to gear up, so they picked out these older characters that they have laying around, so they find uses for them now. So it's always interesting to see some of these comps from older players from teams and characters that people never really got a chance to gear up, but they did because at that point in the game they could.
Yeah. Let's see. Zeke chimed in, and he is excited for the General Grievous rework, only if it means the undermodded Revans out there disappear from his leaderboard. He truly hates mirror matches. Yeah, it is getting to be pretty bad. I think, like I mentioned a couple shows ago, I do think Jedi Revan's time is coming to an end, whether it be through Grievous or Darth Revan.
Yeah, my opinion as far as Grievous actually taking over, or at least helping this Revan meta, has been evolving, because when you actually look at gearing, General Grievous and IG-100, oh man, they are painful gear hogs. So I could see them actually being needed, working together, and because it would take a lot of energy and a lot of resources to gear up those characters to be able to make them usable within Arena.
Yeah. We kind of had a little bit of a conversation. I won't go too deep into it, but gearing up one character at a time or factions at a time?
Ooh. I do a little bit of both. I don't really focus on one character. I go through and have a collection of characters. Like when I was gearing up Scoundrels, I have all the Scoundrels favorited, along with like Revan and a couple of the Bounty Hunters. And what I basically do is I grind up with the main characters that I'm looking for at the time, and I'll try to get them to Gear 12 as quickly as possible. But if I get stuck on, say, my lovely raid droid collars from the Rancor, I can only buy them out of the store or wait for them to show up in a raid. So if I'm stuck at that gear piece, I'm going through and gearing up another character behind that. That way I can keep everything progressing, moving along. As soon as I get that gear piece, I'll put them on there and then focus back on that character. Or if I run into a stun gun, basically bottleneck, I'll go through, stop there, continue farming that character's, the stun guns and everything for that character eventually, or even Carbantes, because I'm waiting for him out of a shop. I'll gear up a character behind them to keep it moving. So I'm usually gearing up 2 to 3 characters at a time.
Yeah, that's usually what I'm doing. It's easier for specific teams, either for a raid team or something for, required unit for territory battles or some sort of a PvE event. But the game's in such a weird spot right now with potential arena meta shifts that I can't bring myself to waste any gear until I know how it's going to settle out. Because if I got to shift to droids, and that is a ton of gear I got to spend. So I'm hanging on to everything right now just in case.
Yeah, I'm still trying to play catch up from jumping into that 4 million GP bracket in Territory Wars, or not Territory Wars, but Grand Arena. That I need to flesh out a couple more, 2 to 3 more teams to fully be comfortable on what I'm setting for offense and defense. So that's why I'm kind of focused on really gearing everything up and focusing down on the teams, because with that Scoundrel team and when I get Revan geared up with Jolie, that's 2 additional teams for Grand Arena, which is super helpful.
Yeah, it's going to make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, and then I can go from there and kind of mix and match, because I've always wanted to do more. I'll see where the droids go. I might do droids, but those bounty hunters, they're so tantalizing as far as having Aura and Django and Embo all geared up. So
yeah, they're so good, and mine are so bad. I do need to work on them too. I kind of hope I really don't. I hope the reworks are good, but if they happen to be bad, I'm going to be in a good spot to
don't even say
bring up some of my C&D
don't even say
teams.
They're bad. Say they're just on par with the bounty hunters. If they're even with the bounty hunters, like you can go through and pick up a faction. All right, I can do bounty hunters, and they're going to be just as good and just as effective as if I did the droids right now. So then you can kind of pick and choose. Who knows whether that's going to happen or not, but I mean, it's a nice thought, right?
Yeah, I can also see myself just getting Grievous to Gear 12 some Saturday morning when I'm just laying in bed playing on my phone, because he's my boy, and he should be Gear 12.
Well, it sounds like you would lean towards doing your droids over bounty hunters, and I would go through and do the bounty hunters over droids. The only problem I have right now is Django is not 7 stars. I would have to check on Embo. I'm not sure if Embo. I don't think Embo is 7 stars or Aura. So where my droids are 7 stars. So that would be why I would end up gearing droids right now over my bounty hunters, only because I don't have the star level on them right now.
Yeah, well, I've got them all. My bounty hunters at 7 stars, except for Django, and he's at 18 of 100. Just my gear, like Embo, he's at gear 8, so he's worthless. Maybe one day. So, well, who are you working on right now?
Well, I'm working on stun guns. Lots of stun guns.
That's my favorite character.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, finishing up Houndstooth. Houndstooth's moving along. I'm at, I think, right around 68 of 100 right now, 70 of 100 with today's farming. Going through, I'm shifting over to Aura right now with Cantina, because Bounty Hunters, I'm trying every chance I get, but I don't think I'm going to go. Now that I'm done with Candors, I need to stock up some crystals just in case for these next round of Old Republic characters. So I'm going to be going after Aura, but I'm not going to be buying Cantina refreshes and kind of using that crystal to kind of replenish my crystal supply to get ready for that next push of energy refreshes that I'm going to need. And then fleet battles, I'm just working. I got Lando's Millennium Falcon. I just need Lando right now, so I'm at 66 of 100.
Well, if you find him, let us know where he's at.
Yeah. We got to do something, right?
Yep.
So what are you working on? I mean, you're running out of farms, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much working on ships and Django. I cheated myself out of a 1-up. I got Sith Fighter to 100 out of 100. Shows you how little I care about that ship.
I completed it and did not care until I went through and actually looked at my farms and realized, hey, it's at 100.
Yeah, he's 7-star and still my 4th least powerful ship. So,
someone has to be.
Yeah. So I'm working on Django, Annie's Starfighter. Got it 3365. Got a long way to go on that. Hope they add something soon to the to these nodes. I'm out of everything.
Yeah, but I mean, we know 2 characters that are coming in, but I mean, as soon as you get done with those 2 characters, you're going to have a couple months. So,
yeah, I'm also curious to see where the Galactic Chase goes next and what the tempo of that looks like. Is it going to immediately jump to another node? Do we have to wait 2 months for it to come back somewhere?
Personally, I would very much like it just jumping around like every other week or every week moving to a different area to farm. Now, the people that went through, stocked up energy and bought that energy pack to try to go through and get it real quick, they may be a little upset about that, but personally, it would fall right into my plans of how I was, in my mind, going to farm that ship.
Yeah, I'd like to see it just as a thing that's out there.
Yeah, that just kind of rotates around. Say it's around for a month, or as they introduce new versions of this Galactic Chase, they go through and say it's 2 or 3, and they just rotate 1 a week. Wouldn't be bad either. So we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how they actually keep evolving this new character cadence.
Yeah, trying to see if they mentioned anything on when it comes back, but I'm not seeing anything off the top of my head. We'll do some more research, and if it pops up, we will let you all know.
Yeah, I don't think they've said anything yet about it, other than it's happening and it's a new way to get this ship and other characters. So let's wrap this up. And before we get out of here, I was inspired by the changes of their marquee cadence and the packs going to $20, and I figured we would bring this back for the same price of your brand new B1 Super Battle Droid. You can also get a pair of Beats headphones and Apex to play on your Xbox One.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much get anything in Apex to play. You could get a bunch of lightsabers. You could.
Hey, I added Apex in there for you with the game and everything. It's mainly the headphones that are the key purchase in that story. So it's the way the game is. We'll see how the marquees go. Maybe this price point actually gets lower down and seems like more of a value.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll look at the drop rates.
You don't sound optimistic about that.
Yeah, it's kind of sad too. I really wanted to wail out on the character and do the gambling packs just once. I got this crystal hoard I'm sitting on. I got to spend it on something.
The Droidica.
Maybe. I got to see its kit.
Oh, man, the Droidica would be a good one.
But there's also two characters I got to farm up.
You want to do General Grievous, so Droidica, it'd be perfect. We know from the kit the B1 does not really need to be started up. It could be a perfect team to shift over to.
Could be. I'll keep my eye on it.
That is right.
Maybe figure out how to live stream it.
Yeah.
Super crazy with it.
That's right. Go crazy with it. But so, as you contemplate that in your future, let's wrap everything up and get on out of here so I can shove you out of the panic room to go after that Droidica.
I'm just gonna put my face paint on, start doing some push-ups and training.
That's right.
Gotta get ready.
Have at it.
Okay, so y'all know the deal. Leave us a review on iTunes or your podcast server of choice. If you're on Discord and you can't find us on your podcast server of choice, let us know. We can try to get it out there. Reviews always help us grow. Email us at candinavizla.com, but even better than that, join our Discord. Join in on the conversation. We're talking about all kinds of stuff all day long. Theory crafting, collectibles, you name it. You can find us on thealliancegaming.com. And as always, if so inclined, we do have a Patreon set up, patreon.com/Cantina Your support is always appreciated. We do have some perks for our sponsors. You can get access to our Not Panic Room, a Patreon-only Discord channel, and the $5 tier will get you access to our Grand Arena Recon service. We will take a look at your opponent, take a look at your rosters, and kind of give you a strategy to go on.
Yeah, and go through with you, figure everything out. And actually, what I just added to the Cantina Discord earlier this evening was actually going through a Grand Arena and Territory Wars counter bot. So you go through and hit equals counter, and then you put in either Bounty Hunters, Boss, Treya, Revan, and it'll go through and give you a list of counters along with YouTube clips and everything.
Damn robots taking our jobs.
That's right. I went through and set up the bartender to help us out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to check that out. I got some fights coming up tonight I got to take care of.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was a great thing to help. It'll at least give you an idea of what to go out to see if you actually have a good counter laying around and what other teams are you're going up against and trying to figure everything out. Give you a base idea. But so we look forward to seeing everybody in Discord. We enjoyed talking to everybody. So until next time, guys, later.
As you are exiting the cantina, we would like to say thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you out on the holo table soon.